Hi, this is Yolanda from VanveenBulbs.com, and in this segment we're going to talk about how to feed roses and what we should feed roses and when we should feed roses. Now, roses are a beautiful garden plant that do well in everyone's garden. They just love full hot sun and good drainage. That's the key. And the number one factor that you need to take care of when you start your rose garden is give them good compost or good potting soil. So make sure and plant them in some really good soil, because that's how they're going to get the energy to grow. Because feeding them won't matter if they don't have good soil. It's the same thing as us. We can live on a diet drink or we can live on real food, and in the end some good nutrition is what we need, and that's how we thrive. So the same with our roses. So number one, to feed your roses, make sure to use good compost or potting soil. And when they're first coming up in the spring, give them some nitrogen, maybe just a little bit of nitrogen, and that will make the leaves and become really lush. But more is less. I don't use any fertilizer at all in my garden, and they seem to grow no matter what. So a little bit of nitrogen in the spring will help set some greenery. But you want to stop giving them that nitrogen once the summer hits, because nitrogen makes the greenery but not the blooms. It's the phosphates, or the last two numbers on the fertilizer can, that make the difference. So get a rose blooming fertilizer or something that's high in phosphates if you're going to fertilize in the summer. But in the end, again, you really don't need any of it, and they'll probably do well anyway. So just some good soil and lots of sun, and trim them back. So when they get too lanky and wild in the summer, I'll trim them back up a little bit, and a lot of times I'll get more lush greens and lots of blooms in the fall. So remember, when feeding your roses, less is more. Choose varieties that are stronger and hardier and do well in your area. You can search online for the different varieties or talk to your friends and neighbors about what works well in their yard. And you'll find if you pick the stronger varieties, you use good soil, you really don't need to feed them at all, and they'll do really well for years and years.